A new campaign in South Africa's food industry was launched by the South African Faith Communities Environment Institute. It is called the Verified Cage-Free campaign and recognizes businesses that publicly declare their commitment to sourcing only cage-free eggs, including free-range, barn, organic and pasture-raised. Zwelisha Shobede joins us now. Zweli, can you explain the significance of the Verified Cage-Free campaign and how it empowers both businesses and consumers in South Africa?
Thank you so much for having me. First and foremost, happy to be here talking about this important campaign. So basically, the Verified Cage-Free campaign is aiming to promote sustainability and promote businesses that are prioritizing sustainability and try to make sure that consumers and customers know about those businesses and they know about where their eggs come from. And so that's why we're trying to empower farmers, we're trying to also empower businesses and also make sure that the consumers know where the eggs come from and they know that this campaign is there to actually give them information and to promote sustainability. So the overall aim and the overall benefit is that we're going to basically get hens out of cages and also make sure that businesses that are promoting sustainability are also promoted and celebrated and make sure that everybody knows about them.
With so many businesses already committing to the cage-free movement, what challenges do you see for businesses that are still hesitant to make the shift?
I think the challenges are both in the long run and also in the short term, in a sense that they're going to be left behind, right? People are moving towards, sustainability. They want to know where their food comes from. They want sustainable food. They want to get value for their money. And so if you don't have transparency around that, people will tend to shy away from supporting your business. And so I think even though you think that, okay, it's expensive now, but in the long run, it's going to, be counterproductive for your business to basically support cage-free. So I think that is how they're going to be left behind. And I think our call is to basically say that we want to bring everybody together and make sure that no one is left behind and no one is suffering.
So how can the Verified Cage-Free campaign ensure that transition to cage-free sourcing remains affordable and accessible for all South Africans, especially in terms of food pricing?
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the things also we're trying to do and I want to highlight is that the Verified Cage-Free campaign is not a standalone campaign. So basically, we are working on the background, trying to basically advocate for better farming systems, advocating for policy change to make sure that South Africa is a cage-free country. And so by doing so, we're trying to tie it together and make sure that the campaign is not baseless, because we understand the financial implications and trying to make sure that businesses don't get out of business. They don't get they make their profit margins, right? And so we're trying to make sure that we work with farmers, empower farmers, and also get them in the market so that we can subsidize the prices of procuring eggs and making sure that the prices of, the cage-free eggs, the, healthier, sustainable eggs is quite affordable for everyone in the food chain and the supply chain. So we're basically working behind the scenes to make sure that we do that. But I think also in the long run, it may be expensive now, but there are higher costs. We saw, with the recent avian flu, how, things happen. And so there are higher costs if you don't really make the change. And also, you rather make the change and beat the curve than to be stuck in that type of, environment, type of that situation of making sure that you can't run a business. So we just try to make sure that we understand that businesses have to make profit and we're trying to support them and make sure that consumers understand the campaign and they support businesses, and also the suppliers actually are one with the campaign and make sure that we can have a situation whereby it's affordable for everyone.
From an animal welfare perspective, what are the key benefits of cage-free systems for hens? And why is it urgent for businesses to transition away from battery cage eggs?
I think, first and foremost, no animal, deserve that kind of suffering. Caged hens stay in cages for the rest of their lives, basically. And also in South Africa, recent stats say that 95% of our national flock is in cages. And imagine how much suffering is happening there. Imagine how many flocks are in cages. And also be over and above that, I think there are so many implications that are negative, and it is a clear picture that we need to, make the change. and switch to going cage free. It's a very urgent thing that we need to do in South Africa, because if you look at what happens to the hens, as much as when they cannot longer lay eggs, what happens is that they go to slaughterhouses, and that is very, very cruel. And also what happens to male chicks is very, very cruel. We need to try to make sure that we change and we move away from this cruel practice and make sure that hens can enjoy the planet as much as we do and can spread their wings. They can walk around, roam around, and even sunbathe, which is something that cages make impossible. So I think by just listening and viewing those things, we need to make a change. And also when they go to the slaughterhouse, we know the environmental impacts and implications of that. And so we need to try to mitigate those things and make sure that these hens can live a long life to ensure that we don't take massive flocks to slaughterhouses. So I think it is very beneficial to so many aspects of our lives, day-to-day lives.
And that was Zwelisha Shobede telling us about a new campaign in South Africa's food industry that was launched by the South African Faith Communities Environment Institute.